Zelenskyy calls for strong reaction from the UN after Russian bombs left millions of Ukrainians without heat and water and below freezing temperatures. We expect the reaction of friends, not just observers.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy urged the United Nations this week to condemn Russia's ramped-up bombing campaign that has left millions of people without energy supplies, including heat and water in below freezing temperatures. Zelenskyy delivered an impassioned speech via video link to the UN Security Council late Wednesday, accusing Russia of crimes against humanity, and suggesting the recent missile attacks were akin to weapons of mass destruction. We expect a strong reaction from the world to today's Russian terror. We expect the reaction of partners. We expect the reaction of friends, not just observers, Zelenskyy said. Zelenskyy's plea comes as Moscow increases its attacks on energy infrastructure as winter takes hold in Ukraine. When the temperature is below zero outside, and tens of millions of people are left without electricity, heat and water as a result of Russian missiles hitting energy facilities, this is an obvious crime against humanity, Zelenskyy said. The attacks on Wednesday killed at least 10 people, the Ministry of Energy said, according to CNN, and left much of the country without power. A newborn baby was killed in an earlier Russian missile attack that hit a hospital maternity ward in the Zaporizhzhia region late Tuesday, Ukrainian officials said.
This post received a score of 64,000, with an upvote ratio of 85%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
No electricity as I woke up and went to work. No electricity as I came back from work. Traffic lights not working. Every second building using loud generator that stands right besides the building entry. On my way back, traffic cops got put to every other cross-section to reduce the chaos. By the way, home internet is still not back, but at least mobile hotspot works well.
It's insane how much modern life depends on electricity and how weird you feel when you don't have access to it.
No internet or electricity and I revert to caveman, actually lol.
At least cavemen knew how to survive. Without electricity I turn into a child lost in the woods.
Actually, children lost in the woods have a higher survival rate than adults.
Probably because their tiny legs don't get them near as far before people start looking for them. I'd be halfway to Antarctica before anyone knew I was missing.
Damn. You must have some long legs.
Davy long legs over here.
Serious question, what can other countries actually do? Apart from condemning the attack, what options do they have that they are likely to use?
Humanitarian aid and more supplies for Ukraine's defense.
I think the latest round of aid from the US included stuff like generators.
It was generators, replacement parts for howitzers and a bunch of mortar, small arms and HIMAR ammo.
So weird that we keep sending so much HIMAR ammo when Russia have destroyed more than 5x the number of HIMARs that we sent.
I hate how everyone knows exactly what constitutes war crimes but countries are rarely ever held accountable for them. Oh.
It's hard to hold a country accountable, especially when you're already sanctioning them. The US doesn't even recognize international courts and Russia doesn't either. Short of going to war over it, what can actually be done?
That's the thing, there's nothing you can really do. In order to enforce these rules, the entire world would need to go to war against these agents every time these rules were broken to enforce them. And we have two pretty good past events that make people hesitant to do that a third time, let alone regularly. So the best we can do is point it out, shun it, sanction it, and maybe some covert funding of insurgents whose interests align.
Yeah, stopping war is primarily a peacetime exercise and primarily comes through military and economic integration. China and NATO could never afford to go to war, for example, and if they did, that would be such a colossal failure of leadership that I'd hope everyone responsible for that decision would be immediately seized and destroyed by angry mobs. But a fossil fuel economy like Russia might easily convince themselves that they could get away with attacking a non-NATO, non-EU member though.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.